What's up, y'all? Odell Bazell here with Stan Pearson II and special guest Wesley Diego Pearson. I don't know his middle name, but I made it up on the spot.
Starts with a D. You got that right.
What is Wesley's middle name?
Dominic. No,
I
Dominic.
was close.
You were close.
I was close.
Diego is one of my alter ego names, Santiago Diego. And I wanted to name him Santiago Diego, but I got Stanley David III, so I'd have been pressing my luck. I'm very happy with Wesley Dominic, though.
I love it. I love it. First of all, I want to make sure that you all know watching this in the first few seconds and every now and again, you should join me and Stan in Atlanta, right outside of Atlanta, with the great, the legendary Les Brown, February 28th, 2025. If you have any questions, want to go ahead and hop on that VIP. We're offering a hotel stay as well. You get to meet Les Brown. You get to ask Les Brown questions. We're going to be talking about what that means in a second. And you get to spend the day with me and Stan as we're talking about the art of speaking and the business of speaking and how you can be a full-time speaker if you want, but also making full-time income in that. But Stan, I have to ask, and we'll do this within the confines of this video. Why should people come to meet us in Les February 28th, 2025, right outside of Atlanta?
Cool. So the last thing you said was, whether it's making a full-time income, a supplemental income, there's no better way to supplement your income or give yourself a raise than getting paid to speak. No other way. Like it is the number one way.
Say that again.
There's no better way to supplement your income or give yourself a raise than getting paid to speak. There's talk about real estate. Yeah. Okay. What is that going to take? Typically $10, $20, $30,000 for anything of substance. And that's going to be over time. But if you're talking about, how can I give myself a raise as quickly as possible? It is getting paid to speak. And Odell, myself, and obviously Les Brown Les Brown has been in the speaking industry. How many years? How many years we're going?
Les? It's been what, 55 like official years.
55 official years, myself circling 20 years of paid speaking. Odell over a decade plus of paid speaking. That means you get a chance to spend uninterrupted time with us. Virtual is cool, but being with us in person is going to be electric. And the opportunity to get video with us, to get pictures with us, to have your pictures happening in a very intimate environment, there's no better place you can be than with us. And here's the last part before I throw it back to you. Obviously, this is an ever-changing world, and I don't have to tell anybody that the cost of everything seems to rise, but except for the raise that your boss won't give you, that isn't rising. The cost of living bonus, that isn't going up. Somehow there's been an issue with funds and budgeting where they can't quite find the extra money for you. If you are willing to invest in yourself, a fraction of what you'll get in return, you should absolutely be with us. This probably isn't for you if you not only don't believe in yourself, but don't have the desire to believe in yourself. This is probably not for you. This is probably not for you if investing, I don't know, a couple grand would destroy your entire existence and the legacy of your family wholly and completely. And there's absolutely no way you could find, borrow, or create an opportunity for you to come. It's not for you. However, if there's any semblance of, hey, I need to get my life together, I need to create funds for my family, I need to create freedom for my family, then you'll be with us February 28th. Me, Odell, Les Brown.
And I'll say this too, for those of y'all watching, listening, whether you're on my list, whether you're watching on our website or wherever you're looking at this, if you truly want to invest in yourself, because people say that all the time, right, Stan? They say, you should invest in yourself. You should invest in yourself. And they are trying to get you to move to buy something.
Yeah.
But if you truly want to invest in yourself, getting paid to speak, you have to go through the people that are doing it and have done it well at a high level. Stan mentioned this. I just want to echo it before we move on. Les has been speaking 50 plus years. So there's a lot that he knows that Stan and I don't know, that he did that worked well in the 80s, early 90s, and so on and so forth. But when I started in 2008 speaking, getting paid, I got booked without a professional demo video. Back then, 2008. Now that was for a $600 speaking engagement. 2 speaking engagements later, I got a $3,000 speaking engagement without a demo video. But there's a specific way that I did it, though. And we can talk about that in 2025 and translate it to you. So there'll be a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different situations. I want to encourage you to invest at the VIP level because there's 10 VIP spots. Every person that gets a VIP spot, we're going to cover your hotel for you. And you get an extra day to chop it up with me and Stan, and you get to have a cool experience. So go ahead, if you're watching this, looking at this, click somewhere around this video and join us. And if you have any questions, the only question should be is how much and how long?
That's a fact.
And that question is answered on this page somewhere. But anyway.
Really quick, can I share something really quick?
Go ahead.
There are folks that I know who've been interested in getting paid to speak for years. I mean, you know, some of these same people also, but, you know, we all have, there are folks that I know that you haven't met, folks that you know that I have not met. And heck, 5 years ago, some longer, some 3 years ago. And we told them then, we said, hey, if you start today, 3 years from now, your life is going to be way different in the best possible way. If you start today, if you lean in today. Now, what's interesting, because there's some people talk about split testing, and split testing is interesting when you're running ads or email campaigns, but it's interesting when you get to see split testing play out in real life. Because guess what? In the last 3 to 5 years, there have been people that have been like, I'm leaning all the way in. I want to do this. Yes. And then the people are like, you know what? I'm going to wait. And our thought and our expression to him was like, hey, 3 years is going to pass anyway. Wouldn't you like to be further along 3 years from now? And guess what? We have folks whose lives have been completely changed because they chose to spend a couple days with us and then be coached with us along the way. Lives completely changed, getting paid to speak, being recognized, giving themselves raises, and being recognized by their jobs as professionals. And then there are folks, and we're getting the same direct messages from them today as we got 3 to 5 years ago. I think I'm ready. I want to, my advice to you is that 3 or 5 years, 365 days will pass, whether you pass with it or not. Now's your time to pass it with us. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Whew, you see, you got me in preach mode, man. You got me in preach. I wasn't even here to preach, but I gotta say this. If you're asking yourself, are you ready? Like, are you ready? You're never ready until you do it.
That's true.
You're never ready. Stan recently, he and his lovely wife Cynthia recently had their second child. They weren't ready until he got there.
That's it.
And I mean, honestly, as a parent, I don't know if I'm ready now.
You know, a question I had to ask. I got this from college, but one question, you know, along the lines of ready, because that's so subjective. Again, like the traditional ready, no one ever is. Oh, I want to get married when I'm ready, when it's perfect. You ain't never quite ready. I want to have kids when it's perfect and ready. No, that version of ready is different than asking you, are you really excited about dedicating yourself? Shout out to Lamonte Hunter and Carl Bell, who I heard it from, but I understand it was originated with Lamonte Hunter somewhere in there.
Carl don't care. They don't care.
Lamonte don't care, but check it out. And Lamonte is also an aspiring speaker. and diversity and inclusion savant. But what I want to tell, I want you all to be able to ask yourself this question: are you really excited about dedicating yourself? Are you ready?
Oh. Man, now ahora mismo. But I want to include this part in there because here's a little bit of inside baseball, y'all. And should I say this publicly? I'm gonna say it publicly.
You didn't share with me, so now I'm excited. I'm leaning in myself.
I mean, this event was happening before we ever talked to Les Brown. this event was going to happen either way, so we're excited to add Les to it, and I want that to be a carrot for you to come, obviously. But the kind of title of this video, if you're in the titles, is, never meet your heroes. Do this instead. And Stan and I have had we're blessed with so many opportunities to meet super famous people to everybody, super famous people in our industry, kind of unknown people, but amazingly successful people. And one thing that comes across that I found refreshing, some people don't find it refreshing. I'm going to say this. It's going to sound like I'm dramatizing a big deal. It is a big deal, and I am dramatizing a little bit, but two things can be the same, can be true at the same time. You never meet your heroes. And what I mean by that is you never actually meet your heroes. You meet humans. Ooh. You never meet your heroes. And here's why that should inspire you. For a long time, I'm cracking myself up because I interviewed myself about this earlier. For a long time, I actually thought that I wasn't a regular person. For the longest time. I would even refer to my family as mere mortals because I wasn't. I was like, I'm not a mere mortal. I don't get sick. I never, all the athletics that I played, sports, everything, the most I ever got was a sprained ankle, never broke a bone. And I've done some stuff, y'all. Like I'm not one of those kids that just stayed inside. Like I did stuff.
And if you shake Odell's hand, you'll know. If you shake his hand, you'll know.
But last year I went to the doctor like 4 times, which is no lie, the most I've ever in a decade. I don't go to the doctor, and I'm getting better at that, obviously, but I'm going to go to the doctor. I started realizing I'm going to be 40 probably. By the time you see this video, I'll be 40. But I was like, man, like I'm getting older. Like it's happening. I got like more gray hairs than I can count. I lost this part of my hair. Not this part, but like this part is gone. I am a human. So that means I got an expiration date. I said all of that to say,
man,
that you never meet your heroes. You meet humans and you become your own hero. You become that. So here's what you should do instead of meeting your heroes. Be your own hero. How do you do that, though? You meet other people that have self-actualized into that. That's why you should come to meet me, Stan, and Les Brown, because we are our heroes. And I mean that with all of the hubris, all of whatever you want to call it. We are our heroes. We are the stars of our movie. We are. Now, we're not the star of yours, but when you meet Les Brown, when you have an opportunity to ask him a question like he's a man, like he's a human person, not like he's the great Les Brown. Because what will happen is when you ask him a real question, he will give you a real answer that will change your life forever.
Man, you know, again, it doesn't take much to get, it does, but it doesn't take much to get me emotional now. You know, just as over the last few years of this profound respect for time, I often tell people, you know, that what's interesting about time is it's not racist, it's not superficial, it's not misogynistic, it does not discriminate. Time is just time. And the best way to honor time is to do the most you possibly can with it. Like, that's it. I remember probably decades ago, a couple decades ago for sure, that my dad said, son, I've lived longer than I'm going to live. And that hit me then anyway, because my dad is a hero of mine, and because I come from him, I'll allow it, right? But it's like, to hear him say that, but me in my, let's say in my not immature mind, but in my naivety, if you will, like, it never occurred to me that one day I would be saying I'm nearing the point where I've lived longer than I'm going to live. And everyone watching this, understand that God, Lord willing, that at some point you will reach the age that you will have lived longer than you're going to live. And then the question you'll be forced to ask yourself is, what have you been doing with your time? Did you give everything you had to be the person, the family man, the family woman, the husband, the wife, the friend that you said you wanted to be during that time? And part of that means getting around the people who are doing the thing that you want to do, being around the people who are being the kind of person that you want to be. And that means being in the same space with two of the most well-known speakers in the college, corporate, and association market, student market, being with one of the most iconic speakers of all time, being in the same space, and then knowing that you can ask them questions. And I'd say this to people who just met us last year and those who met us 10 years ago. Who we were 10 years ago and even last year is a light year away from who we are right now. And being with us and around us will not only shift the way you see things, it'll shift the way that you see yourself. And that's what's most important to us. Being our own superhero means, like, we're not counting on you to make us feel better. We want to help you feel better about you, so you can be the person that you promised your family you would be. And beyond that, the person you promised yourself you would be.
Oh, man, I didn't even know this was going to go this way, man. But this is a part of the reason why you need to join us February 28th, because once you identify why you're doing what you want to do. So you want to get paid to speak, you want to get that extra money, you want to get that raise or whatever it is. Once you identify what that is, if all of your energy doesn't go, or a large segment, if a large segment of your energy does not go into that, it will never happen. And so you have to be efficient with your steps. You got to be efficient with your movement. And a lot of people waste time being economically entertained. And it happens all the time because there's a certain level of emotion that goes into, like, human beings. We have to have this emotion. And so when you go to a live event, there's a huge live event as we're recording this going on in Atlanta, huge live event, amazing live event. And what's going to happen, and what happens to a lot of people, the same thing that happens when people go to church, is they get excited, they catch the Holy Ghost, they catch all the emotions and all the feelings around it, and they're paralyzed by emotion and are not able to move past it. And so what we've created with Now Live being this first event is an intimate, intentional space where you can arrive and see, wow, Stan's a really good guy. Like, Odell, I thought Odell would be taller, but he's not. Okay, all right. He's a little thicker than I thought he was, but okay. Wow, look at Les Brown. And you'll be able to see us move and talk about the things that we've done, talk about the people we've helped. India Prather, last year, she made $70,000 going through our program. $70,000 on the side.
On the side.
Okay. On the side. Still got her day job. You got a Chris Molina. He's been with us for years. He just got a $9,000 keynote presentation that he's going to be doing he said it's the most he's ever got for one keynote for 45 minutes. 9,000. But Chris was with us since the pandemic, and he keeps coming back. India just signed up at the end of 2023, and she's still coming back. Like, those are the stories that y'all are gonna get to see and hear. Demetria, y'all, I can't wait. She's coming, right?
Yeah, Demetria's coming. Demetria Bradley.
She
yeah.
National Speaker of the Year award. She's got a national award for speaking. All of these people you're going to get to see, and you're going to get to experience that. And you get to see, this is the biggest thing. And this is what I want to convey. You'll see that. And in your subconscious, you'll say, I can do that too. And it'll happen that simply. It won't even be a big yell. Most mountains are moved with whispers.
Ooh.
So it won't even be all of that. It'll be, wow, dang, okay.
Wait, who's the young gun? Also, the young gun.
Which young one? Standifer.
There you go, Dr. Standifer.
Dr. Standifer, yeah.
Single dad, 2 kids. Speaker of the Year a couple years back, or a year and some change back. Well, last year.
Yep.
He's spoken to some of the biggest conferences. I think he also keynoted Skills USA.
Yep.
That conference, they won't even return my call. Don't ask me why. Maybe it's his fault. They return your call. I don't know.
They don't return my calls either.
But the beauty of it is he's spent time with us. And you should too. I mean, that's the beauty of it. And that's also why all these folks too, I'm sorry, I cut you off. The beautiful thing is all these people invested in where they wanted to be. All those people we mentioned invested to be in space with us. And what you'll realize, almost to a fault, honestly, is, or maybe not, but what you realize is once you have our undivided attention, we will give you undivided resources. And that is priceless. And that's why also you'll find like the lack of patience for those who don't want to pursue something beyond themselves, or those who want to free themselves to freedom, and you can't. It costs something to be where it is you say you want to be. And we're not asking you to do anything that not only obviously that we haven't done, but that others haven't done as well, and to see where they are. But back to Odell's original point, like being your own hero, but being willing to talk to those folks.
Ask questions. I think that's the biggest thing, is we're kind of winding this down. Tony Robbins said this, and I have to make sure that you really, really hone in on it. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of questions that you ask. Odell says the quality of your life is determined by the quality of questions you ask and answer to people that matter. So who are the people that matter as it relates to you getting paid to speak? You're looking at 2 of them. And then you're going to get to meet one of the biggest ones that inspired probably every speaker that you come across. If you say the name Les Brown, they'll say, oh yeah, I went to a Les event a long time ago. Oh yeah, Les Brown. Yeah, he's amazing. Or Les Brown. Yeah, you gotta be hungry. Like, they'll say something as it relates to that. And when you think about the influence that is, it's kind of like this, Stan. And this is something I wanted to say. You know who this is, Brian Scalabrine. The White Mamba or whatever.
Yeah, White Mamba.
Brian Scalabrine. He for those of you that don't follow, that don't know, he was an NBA basketball player many years ago, but he was like the 10th, 11th man on the bench. He didn't play much or whatever. And when social media got started really big about 10 years or so ago, he retired and people were talking junk about him and how they could beat him and he wasn't good. And not just regular people. I'm talking about D1 players. They're like, oh, Brian Scalabrine is trash. And he started the Scallenge, where it was like, hey, I'll play you one-on-one. And shout out to LeVar Ball. Never lost.
Never lost.
He never lost. And when people think, they're like, wait, he doesn't play. He's in the NBA. He's in the NBA. And Stan and I tell stories about guys that we played against that were in the NBA, that played overseas. It's different. We would never come out of our mouths and say we could beat anybody in the NBA. Shoot, past, present, future. Anybody. So even the old heads, like, yeah, you know what?
Jamal Tinsley. I don't know if you know those names, but
Jamal Tinsley, yes. Gosh.
Whew. Tony Delk, killers. Anyway,
I saw Tony Delk last time we went to Dallas. Ooh. I saw Tony Delk in the airport. He still looks like he could get a two-way. Like he's still in really good shape. Anyway, I said all that to say Brian Scalabrine said to one guy that he beat, he said, "I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me."
Whoa.
Stan and I, we're closer to Les Brown than you are to us.
So
I say that respectfully, but also truthfully. So what does that? That doesn't mean you'll never get there, but it means that you need a pathway to get there. Yeah. And that's what we can help provide. Yeah. And it's also with sports and there different things. There are God-given abilities that some people can't teach. Also, Brian Scalabrine, I think, is like 6'10".
That helps. that helps.
That helps you get closer. But Stan and I have put in thousands upon thousands upon thousands of hours of focus, attention, and blood, sweat, and tears into speaking. We're closer to less than you are to us. Because you haven't put in the time and you haven't made it efficient. That's something that we can do for you. When you meet us, February 28th, 2025, right outside of Atlanta at the Now Live event with me, Stan, and Les Brown.
Cool, Les. And we want to allow you also to be transparent with yourself. And this isn't me talking to, what do you call it? This is not me. I will not do that. This is not me talking to the scammers and what's the other word? The charlatans.
Charlatans.
This is not me talking to them. This is me talking about the inflated ego that has come by way of you can make $25,000. No, like it's coming because what happened is there are a lot of you out there that truly need the proper guidance and help that don't believe you do. Odell and I are in groups. We're in speaker groups. We're on speaker lists. And there are a lot of folks who are not paid to speak, who are trying to coach people or saying that they're professional speakers, but what they're really doing, what you're really doing is you're hurting yourself and the industry, quite honestly, by not being as good as you absolutely could and should be if you're charging people to speak. Forget charging them if you're showing up on someone's podcast, if you're being interviewed, if you're sitting on a panel, if you're giving a keynote presentation for a small honorarium and a gift card, you should still be very much prepared and good. But what the climate has done is not allowed you to say, you know what, I do need help. This has you convinced with your stock images and the grainy photos and the lack of 60 seconds of fire that you in some way, shape, or form can look at us and be like, that's Scalabrine. We want you to be able to put down the weight, put down the armor, set your ego aside, and let 3 of the best pros that you've ever shared company with help you be a pro also. You don't have to pretend with us. And we're not even the type like, yeah, Izzy, I knew you need. No, that ain't us. Because I'll tell you what I told Odell when he first started. And that's when you look good, we all look good. That is what I want. Several years from now, when I decide to retire in a different way from speaking, I want to know that it's left in capable, amazing hands. And that is what this is. This is not the Trojan horse. This is you looking outside your window or competent, whoever that is, looking outside their window and be like, oh my gosh, the real army is here and we're storming the gates. And whoever wants to ride with us, will ride successfully through the storm that might be waiting?
February 28th, 2025. You can meet Stan the Man Pearson, me, and Les Brown for an entire day from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We are going to teach you the art of speaking, the business of speaking. We're also going to show you how you can make a full-time income as a professional speaker, how you can get the raise that you deserve, how you can get the promotion you deserve with your words, because words build worlds. Words create everything. And we're going to show you how to create the future that you deserve with your words when you meet us. February 28th, 2025. I'm trying to say it so much, Stan, that it shows up in my subconscious. Like I'm dreaming about it. Like I'm going to the bank and I'm saying, hey, where are you going to be? February 28th, 2025. It's going to be an amazing day. Yeah. And this is the last thing I'll say before we get out of here. Grab a VIP ticket.
I was going to say that.
Don't think about it. Just say, okay, there are 10 VIP tickets. I'm going to get a VIP ticket. I'm going to stretch myself and get a VIP ticket. That way, I'll be able to take a picture with Les. I'll be able to take pictures with Odell and Stan. I'll be able to ask Les a question. I'll be able to have 60 seconds where I can just pitch my best 60 seconds. And then Les can laugh and his iconic signature chuckle and say, that was all right, but do this instead. Or me or Stan will look at each other and be like, whoa, that was good. Or, whoa, you got to work on it. Whatever it is, be there, spend an extra day with me and Stan the day before, February 27th. Get a VIP ticket. If you're going to do something, do it at the maximum level that you can. There are only 10 of those tickets, so you might as well grab one. Stan?
That's all I got. Remember, you're good, you're great, and obviously you're worth it. And this leans completely into Effort on Fire beats knowledge on ice. You can know it all, but we want to help you be it all.
You heard it here first with Odell Bazell and Stan Pearson II. I got it. I did. That was all right.